All right, today I wanted to talk a little bit about adjusting ignition timing. And so, first thing I want to point out is the ignition timing marks. So if you can see right here where my screwdriver is, that big notch, that's 0 degrees. So anything above that in this direction is before top dead center. And anything below that down in this direction would be after top dead center. So before top dead center, right there where that black mark is that I put on that piece, that's 6 degrees top dead center. That is what the specification for this car calls for. Now, when they talk about advanced and retarded timing, so if you want to advance your timing, you're going to go before top dead center. So if you want to put more advanced than 6 degrees, you would go to 8 degrees or 10 degrees. If you want to retard your timing, you would go to 4 degrees or 2 degrees. Now, the more advancement that you can put into your ignition timing, the more power you will make, up until a point where your car starts to ping. And when that pings, that's not good. Your engine's gonna blow up, right? So what you do is you start to back the timing out until it stops this ping. Now, new cars have knock sensors, and when they detect ping, what they do is they back the timing off. Now, what we want to do is detect it ourselves. We want to get the timing out of the car enough that the knock sensor won't pick it up and retard it anymore. Now, normally, like I said, they want 6 degrees top dead center. We can usually go to 8 degrees and possibly 10 degrees, depending on what kind of gas you put in there, what grade of fuel, right? And the closer I can get, or the farther more advancement I can put after 6, if I can go to 8 or possibly 10, I can make more power than 6. But if it starts to knock, that's not good. We need to back it down. So that's how we're going to adjust the timing. Calls for 6, so I want to see the white mark of that timing right there, right? The other thing that I wanted to talk about was how to actually adjust the ignition timing. So this is my brake booster, right? And if you look at this one wire sensor right here, it's got the orange and black wire connected to it. This connector has to be disconnected when I set my ignition timing, right? So this is what the computer uses for feedback for the ignition timing. So I disconnect that, right? I disconnect it. I set my timing to 6 degrees. That puts me at a base timing, right? And then once I have the base timing set and I have it where I want it, then I can go ahead, plug this connector back in, shut the car off, turn the car back on. Now the computer will take over and it will use that 6 degrees, right? So, and then the last thing I guess that we can talk about is how to actually adjust the timing. So there is a 15 millimeter bolt underneath your distributor, and there's a special distributor wrench, and I'll show you that in a minute. And you can loosen that bolt and then start to spin this distributor in one direction or the other, right? Usually try to hold it right here. If you put it here, your hand here, and try to turn it, and you have bad spark plug wires, you will be shocked. So I try to grab it right from my battery and tack terminal and adjust it that way. So let's go ahead and we'll warm up this car, and we'll disconnect this connector and we'll adjust the timing. All right. So I put that on the number 1 wire, plugged it into the battery, put my timing light at 0. I'm going to disconnect this as soon as the fan goes off. We'll take a look at the timing and see what we got. So now we're at base timing with that disconnected. Hopefully you can see that. It's probably running about 10 degrees timing. Same time, but I backed it down to 8 degrees, and then I tightened the distributor, so we're at about 8 to 9 degrees before top dead center, right? And so you can see that they want 6 degrees before top dead center, right?